So a lot is said and written these days about the relationship between politicians and the media, and who's using who and who's manipulating who. But this story indicates how none of it is a very new phenomenon. And it goes back to 1974, when I was a young reporter working for the BBC. I was based in Newcastle, and I was covering the upcoming general election. And Harold Wilson, who was the Labour leader, was on his campaign, and he was due to speak in Newcastle City Hall. And I was asked to go along and film some of the speech and send it down for, I guess it was probably the 9 o'clock news, the bulletin. And in those days we used to shoot everything on film, and the film camera only took magazines of about 10 minutes in duration. So you were always very concerned that if you started the camera too early, you could run out of film by the time you got to the bit that you really wanted, and then you'd be changing magazines as the crucial bit of the speech came up, or something of that kind. So it was always a problem in trying to cover football matches and things of that sort. Anyway, there was no text of the speech. I think Harold Wilson was making it out as he went along. And so I got the chance to talk to him just before his speech, and I said, I've got a bit of a problem, I need to record a bit for the news. How will I know when you're getting to the sort of the most powerful bit with the best soundbite in it? I'm sure I didn't use the term soundbite in those days, but everybody knew what we meant. And he said, don't worry, leave it to me, you'll know. So I was completely mystified by this, and we sat up at the back of the hall, and Harold Wilson started his speech, and he was ranting away about equality and opportunity and education, the health service and all of that. And then just in the middle of one line, he just suddenly said, turn over, and then continued and went into the bit of his speech that was indeed the reportable bit, and the bit that would be on the news. And obviously he knew that turnover is the expression that directors use when instructing the cameraman to start the camera. And so what anybody made of it, other than me, I've no idea. Probably 999 out of 1,000 people in the hall had no idea why Harold Wilson had said the words turn over in the middle of the rest of his speech. But he did. I understood it. We ran the camera. We got the couple of lines that I probably would have chosen for myself to make the news, and we were able to turn off and go, and there we are. So that's how, even in 1974, politicians were making sure that they got their bit on the media, and journalists like me were no doubt conspiring with them to make sure that they got their message over, something of the kind. Anyway, politicians, media manipulation, nothing new.